Hey, Shalom, Malcolm, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace, love, and salutation to the 144,000, which are the beginning behind Yahweh Shai of the elect, as well as the peaceable multitude that will also be saved as well, that you read about in Revelation, the 7th chapter. All right, I'm the brother Tazamar from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson today will be edifying. And I want to do a quick lesson on what you see here on the screen. And you have a lot of Jake. A lot of you so-called predominantly it's a lot of you so-called Negroes. But mainly Jake. And when I say Jake, what I'm saying is, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But like I said, predominantly it's a lot of Negroes. But when I say predominantly a lot of Negroes, what I mean is by the point I'm about to make. A lot of y'all say, "Oh, I vote Democrat. I vote Democrat. I'm a Democrat." But at the end of the day, both parties, whether you're Democrat or whether you're Republican, is still a part of the same beast, of course. But historically and statistically speaking, every time there's been a Democratic president, all right, they've done everything to further your destruction when it comes to passing laws, that completely bypass you, when it comes to, when it comes to your condition that you're in. Look at, whenever Barack Obama, whenever he first came into office, he completely skipped you, and straight gave laws to the alphabet community. You see, then, you had the likes of Joe Biden that came on the scene and, and that clearly said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. And this man for years, on camera for years, has done nothing but pretty much forward laws, rules, and regulations to keep you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans down and label you as useless eaters. Now, here's another one. All right, Democrats propose law that will allow gangs to shoot people at night. Let's read this again. Democrats propose law that will allow gangs to shoot people at night. And who are they? And what these gangs they're talking about? They're talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that predominantly head these gangs, whether it be GDs, MS-13s, the Bloods and the Crips. And Esau wants that. Okay, Esau wants that, and now they're passing laws to allow this activity to happen. Okay, which this is the curse. These are curses, man. You see, this is a prime example when the scripture says that they clap at the downfall of our people, man. Okay, this is Lamentations 2, and actually, let me get chapter 1 first, and then I'm gonna go over to chapter 2 and read something. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. 1 second. This is a good one. Lamentations 1:7. It says, Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her miseries all her pleasant things that she had in the old days. In the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. You see, these different nations aren't looking to, beginning with the Edomites, they're not looking to help you. Okay, they're not looking to help you. They're not looking to better your advancement. They'll put particular things out there that looks like it's made to better your advancement when it comes to particular things that these politicians may say. You had Joe Biden go to Spelman College or whatever. He went to some HBCU and spoke and came out, was like, yeah, the number one threat on American soil is white supremacy. You have these particular things that they say, but at the end of the day, these dudes, these devils, they're not looking for your best interest at the end of the day. It says the adversary saw her and did mock at her Sabbaths. You see that? Our adversaries see us and they're mocking. You know, this is literally the devil laughing. You know, we're going to pass a law that allows, you know, gang members not to just kill them, not to just kill anybody, but they can only kill people at night. That shit is crazy, man. There's another one. Let me see real fast, man. I could have sworn it was in Lamentations, the first chapter. I'm trying to remember how it goes. That might have been it, but let me actually just go for the sake of time. Let me just go to the verse that I called for. This is Lamentations 2 and 15. It says, "All that pass by clap their hands at thee." Right? It says they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, "Is this a city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?" You see? So when they see our people acting the way they act, whether it be killing one another, you know, selling drugs on one another, you know, making music and rapping, you know, and making music about killing one another, committing adultery, you know, they fund these things, and they put Jake out there to further use it as a guise to keep our people in the sunken place. You know, these individuals like Drake and Rick Ross and Playboy Cardi, all these different rappers, you know what I'm saying? These new niggas that be out now. Kodak Black, you know, all these new niggas that be rapping, and all this whole mumbo jumbo rap, what they call it, a drill rap. You know, all that shit is set up. You know, all that shit is set up by these devils, you know, to keep you further down, to push forth that witchcraft, and to keep our people killing one another and completely, first and foremost, you know, rebelling against the Lord. You know, they understand and know that when we're in line with our power, that, you know, these heathen are in trouble when we're in line with our power. But when we're out of line with our power, that's when they feel like they got us. You know, and they use that, and they'll use Jake to further make them more rich, you know, and completely keep our people subjected. Okay? Now, when you take a look at this article here, it says Democrats propose law that will allow gangs to shoot people at night. It says Democrats in Chicago have unveiled a new law that will give criminals the green light to shoot and kill people during nighttime hours. You see that? And it's in Chicago. And what do they call Chicago? They call Chicago, you know, Chirac. That's what they call it. And it's already due to the high level of gang related activity that takes place out there, man. And Chicago got a you know, particular spirit upon that place, man. You know, there's videos of people just out and about at night, you know what I'm saying? Out and about at night, and you just hear gunshots going off, and you know what I'm saying? Just randomly, you know, it'll be a family gathering or whatever the case may be, or whatever the next day it's on the news about X amount of people got shot and killed. It's a particular spirit that's in Chicago that has people acting the way they act. You see, but this is the devil, all right, like it says in Revelation, the 13th chapter, that had two horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. You see? It says Chicago Alderman Maria Hayden, and it's a woman, okay, a so-called black woman, which I believe, you know, but it's a woman at the end of the day. Chicago Alderman Maria Hayden sent an email to fellow Democratic lawmakers in which she promoted a radical solution to tackling violent crime. Proposed a group called Native Sons. It says the proposed law involves potentially asking gang members to restrict their deadly shootings to between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. What kind of shit is that? You see that? And this is, like I said, this is the devil realistically behind the scenes passing, putting these laws out there. This is Isaiah the 10th chapter, the first verse. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees." This is an unrighteous decree. If you're going to do any kind of killing, make sure it's restricted between the times of 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. That's crazy, man. It says, in that right grievousnesses which they have prescribed. You see that? It says that they prescribe these things. They pre meaning before, and scribe means to write. They write before these laws. It says to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey. You see that? Because at the end of the day, that's going to be the ones who are going to be getting shot. It's going to be, kids. It's going to be so-called black on black crime, as they call it. So-called black on black crime, which is really Israelite on Israelite crime. Then you're going to have, children, children being put to death. You know what I'm saying? Children being put to death. Older people being put to death. Just bystanders just being put to death, which that's really a death angel that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is sending out for judgment. You see, it's about to start getting very, very, very eerie and very crazy in these streets, man. And this is just a prelude of things to come, ultimately, at the end of the day. Okay, this is just a prelude of things to come. All right. It says that the scripture says that the love of many gonna wax cold, and it's already waxing cold, but it's just gonna continue to be worse. It ain't just gonna just be in Chicago that these things and these laws pass. When you watch that movie The Purge, that's pretty much The Purge. Just imagine a nationwide from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. From 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. all shootings, are okay to do. And all kinds of theft and all kinds of mischief and murder. You see, and you're gonna have niggas that are gonna eat this up, man. Okay, this is Matthew 24:12. It says, "And because iniquity shall abound," and what's iniquity? That's sin, wickedness. "The love of many shall wax cold." All right, I love to get this word cold here. It says the love of many is gonna wax cold. Oops, lucky. That word cold is suko, which is where you get the word psycho. You see? It's going to waning love. Be or grow cold, man. You see? And this is a heinous thing to pass. And this is what they're talking about. Your precious Democrats. This is what they're talking about doing. You see that you Jakes love to, I vote Democrat. I'm a Democrat. Here it is. Your precious Democrats is passing laws to further kill your ass, to further have y'all kill each other more. How about that? Okay, it says we have to start somewhere, said Native Sons co-founder Tatiana Atkins. "Our goal is to approach our city's gun violence problem strategically and not all at once." So it's a strategic way of looking at this is to just limit it to one day, or limit it to a time frame where this could happen. You see, that's what they're going to limit it to, right? It says things didn't become this way overnight, and change won't happen overnight. It says under this ordinance, we ask that people stop associating with and glorifying shooters, stop glorifying switches, and stop wearing those ski masks anywhere which perpetuate you as some op. It says when those who live a certain lifestyle try to hang with regular class citizens, they put everyone at risk. So they're pretty much saying, like, if these people are around on a daily basis, when these people are around on a daily basis, then it puts everybody at risk, right? It says switches turn semi-automatic handguns into automatic firing weapons. If people know that after a certain hour, the likelihood of them being shot by an unknown and unprovoked assailant are at higher risk, they will be less likely to be out and about. It says, and they may become more proactive with the supervision of their children. At the end of at the end of the day, 5-year-olds are being killed by gun violence. 14-year-olds are being killed by gun violence. 78-year-olds are being killed by gun violence. Pregnant women are being killed by gun violence. Young boys with bright futures are being killed by gun violence. Fathers are being killed by gun violence. And this shouldn't be happening. Well, ultimately, this is happening, first and foremost, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has put a spirit of vengeance in that place. The Lord put a spirit of vengeance in that place. Okay. But secondly, Esau is the one that, you got Esau that'll go over there and drop weapons off in alleyway. That happens, man. You see? And they perpetuate the destruction even more. They perpetuate the destruction even more at that point. You see? But it's a spirit. It's a spirit that's associated. It's a spirit that's associated with that. Okay? Man, let's actually get this real quick. Maybe I just thought about it. This is Psalm 10. Psalm 10 and 8. And this is going into the wicked. Okay? Hey, but, 2/3 of our people are likened unto Esau, man. Remember what Yahushua said. He said, ye are of your father the devil. Of the lust of your father ye will do. He's a murderer just like his brother Cain was a murderer. He's a murderer just like Cain, and our people walk in the spirit of Cain, man. Following after this devil. Because Esau does this worldwide. Esau goes and, he kills people in, quote unquote, in the nighttime hours worldwide. But he just does it whereas it can't be seen in the lurking places. That's what Esau does. Right? Psalm 10 and 8, it says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privy set against the poor. See that? And that's what Esau, like I said, that's what Esau does worldwide. Right? He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. And this is all nothing more. This is all nothing more than a snare that's being set. This is nothing more than a snare that's being set and laid. All right. For you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans just to fall in. To be snared up and to be taken at the end of the day. You see? Let me just go back to the article and we'll finish it up. It says, I myself have reached out to active gang members in regards to this ordinance and have had more positive feedback than negative, and have even had some of them, a small few, post this ordinance to their social medias as well. So here he's speaking to some gang members about it, and they having positive, negative feedback, and it's good news. You know what, we're going to post this on our Facebook pages that, we're going to kill some niggas. We're going to make sure to do it after 9. That's, you hear how mad, you hear how crazy that sounds? I even had some of them posted to some of them posted on their pages. Come on, man. We got to make sure we do better with society, man. So if we killing anybody, man, we got to make sure we do it after 9 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, break. Like, come on, man. It says, we live in a trend society. Let's get the right things trending. The more media, government officials, and community residents believe in this ordinance and stand behind it, the more likely the people will align with the ordinance. All right. Then it just goes into, let's look at this. It says a February 2023 report found Chicago had the highest number of homicides for a major city in the United States in 2022. And you can already know who was at the top of that list. Who was at the top of that list being killed and who was at the top of the list doing the killing in Chicago. It was Jakes, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Y'all killing each other. What the scripture says in the curses that what his eye will be evil towards his neighbor or, towards his brother. It says Chicago had 697 total homicides. Philadelphia had 516. New York City had 438. Houston had 435. Excuse me. Salakia, it says, and Los Angeles had 382. The report revealed that Democrat-controlled Chicago had led the nation for the last 11 consecutive years. And all you hear is about Chicago called Chirac. But who's the one? Who are the ones? The so-called policymakers and the so-called lawmakers that are allowing these laws to be passed, and the ones that are quote unquote controlling the city and things of that nature is the Democrats, man. Your precious Democrats. Which to hell with the goddamn Democrat and Republican any damn way. To hell with the Democrat, and that's the person right there, the so-called nigger woman, or N-Dub, I'll just put it like that. Your precious Democrats. And to hell with both of them anyway, but at the end of the day, look, these are the groups, I rather say, or group that Jake ultimately falls in line to when it comes to laws being passed. I vote Democrat. But here it is, quote unquote Democrats, historically speaking, put you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in a worse position, and it never fails. See, our people ultimately gotta lean upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and repent. And understand and know that whether you a Democrat or a Republican, this system is set against you. And that's not the way to go. How about voting for how about Yahushua? But anyways, that's all that I got. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Chakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth, and that's still teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.